Healing Not Healed, where we will talk about all things mental health and holistic wellness in a very transparent and culturally competent space. And for today, as you can see, we are in a different setting because I have bust my ass to create my own Zen den within my home, to do better content, to do better meditation, to have space to do yoga, to have space for my sound healing equipment because it was taking over my office. And I want to be able to separate business me, the therapist, and Candace me, the just spiritual, just me being myself, me being me, how I show up in the world and how I cope in the world and how I manage in the world and how I heal in the world and how I love in the world. And that's through, more of my spiritual side and empathetic side and ancestral side. And, my book knowledge is more of my clinical side. Let me go ahead and type up this insurance side. Let me go ahead and look at the diagnostic criteria side. And so, although both of them are me, I felt like both of them needed their own places. And so I needed to compartmentalize my mind in that way. And just have like a place of peace where it is, because when you're thinking of work, and that's kind of the point of today's whole aesthetic and situation and conversation, because as you can see, I still have paint on my hands, I'm ashy, my hair ain't done, it ain't been done, I look busted, I'm tired, and I'm just talking off the fly. I have no script, and I'm just speaking out into space. And the reason I thought to separate the two and why I thought it was so important is because, that being work, right? Me being a clinician, being a therapist is work. The part that is laborious is the fact that we do have to go through these obstacles with health insurance and claims and paperwork and documentation, instead of prioritizing the person and the people that we help and heal. And so that business aspect definitely impacts a lot of therapists and a lot of clinicians, because that's not where our heart is, right? We know we have to get that stuff done, but it's not where our heart is, which causes a lot of stress and burnout and additional stress and burnout on top of the emotional labor and the mental labor it takes to be present with people in their emotional turmoils and just offering that support. And so it brings me to the point of how, I try not to get on these conspiracy theory political rants, but just how the impact of capitalism has just impacted the hearts and minds of a lot of people, and that we've prioritized work and hustle and bustle and making money over peace and community and connection and empathy and love and respect and quality time. And it's a shame because we all naturally know that's not our nature. And although we're very ambitious people, I think a lot of us want to be ambitious within our passions, and for whatever reasons, not all of us have that privilege and ability to follow that passion. Because a lot of us aren't poured into to follow those passions because of economical limitations. And so that's kind of my point, is that we haven't been able to commit to a society that allows us to be ourselves. And now I'm going to really specifically speak to my Black and brown people in that, because I also got into the conversation of respectability politics and professionalism, and how we've had to assimilate in culture because of capitalism and white supremacy and things of that nature. How detrimental it has been to assimilate to that type of culture for our well-being in order to have economical success, so much in that we've demonized and dehumanized and criticized and judged other Black and brown people that don't think, act, feel, respond in the ways that we do, because again, I feel like we think it's detrimental to our well-being if we don't cookie cutter and fall in line and kind of walk a certain path that society feels that we should walk in order to assimilate to this culture that we've been adapted to. And so it makes it discourages a lot of people from wanting to follow very creative, artistic, eccentric, provocative, just expressive desires and dreams, because it's not societally accepted or profitable unless you're the superstar who finally breaks over. And how much of that is so discouraged when all you see is social media, people and TikToks and reels, and you got people really just heartbroken and distraught, and and I've seen it, because they haven't pushed content that hasn't gone viral, or haven't gained the audience that they want. And it's so discouraging that they've attached their value and their worth to the public opinion of people, because so badly I need to monetize off of what makes me feel good, and it gets to the point that it no longer makes you feel good. And a lot of people again get discouraged, and I think that's where a lot of depression and like hopelessness gets rooted in that I feel like capitalism has beat us up so much that we've had to embrace careers and paths that we don't necessarily want or desire, because we just have to sustain a livelihood. And so it's just very discouraging. But I said all that to say I wanted to separate the mindset and the space of what I do for insurance and for clinical reasons and for the diagnostic criteria and for the more clinical side versus the more spiritual, personal, emotional Candace that just is a little bit more fluid and complex. I will say a lot more complex. But I wanted to, and I already feel it. Like, I already has bigger windows. It just has more open space, and I just already feel a light sense of air, like I can breathe. And although this whole entire process was whooping my ass, because it was discouraging, thinking of repainting and remodeling and moving furniture and stuff like that, and I'm just a girl. Even though it was daunting, I already feel like a sense of breath, that I feel confident in my path again. I think I needed this personal reassurance of, yes, this is what you should be doing. And I wish that for everyone. And I'm not unrealistic in that, not everybody, again, can follow their dreams and passions, because of economical reasons. And I know capitalism, again, is the dirty culprit. But what I am trying to push is personal responsibility, self-awareness, self-accountability, self-reflection, self-love. Because although, like I said, I'm a clinician, that's not my identity. I help people in that way. I'm still myself. And I want people to be able to live a life where they know themselves, they're connected with themselves, and it's not, their worth is not externalized into what they do and how, how much money they make, and who they feel accepted by. Because for me, I think what makes me so bold and audacious is that I am genuinely learning, just an excuse my language, not here. I just am embracing not giving a fuck, and so much more as I've gotten older, and much more as I've experienced this life and interacted and came into experience with people, that you really have to embrace yourself to embrace some level of happiness and peace on this earth, that is sustainable. Because the reality of it is that not every moment is going to be joyous and happy. And, you know, I think that's what made capitalism so profitable too, is, you know, if you're a consumer society, you know, buying things makes you feel like you're gonna be happier. But that's a whole nother conversation. It can be this one too. But that's what makes capitalism so profitable too, is that we externalize our value. And I just want people to be able to connect with themselves in such a way that they see themselves as valuable, despite what other people think, despite how other people feel, despite how other people may or may not show up for them in the world. Because you can go through your life blaming yourself for how people do or do not show up, or what they do or do not do for you in life. But at the end of the day, you have yourself. And I know that sounds corny and lonely, but it really is. It can be very rewarding if you actually like yourself and love yourself and value yourself. It only really sucks when you don't. You know, if you see yourself in the same way that you feel other people see yourself in the same eyes, then it can be very lonely. But when you realize, like, for me, and this might sound narcissistic, I feel sorry for other people that are missing out on me, more so than I feel that I'm missing out on them, because I know how I love and I know how I show up and things like that. And so I want people to, again, to get into a place that, oh my gosh, they love themselves so much that, you know, you still pour out love into the world, no matter who shows up, and or how people show up for you, or how people, you know what I mean, or how people treat you. You still don't take shit. You still have boundaries. You still assert yourself. You still communicate how you feel, but it doesn't stop you from showing up as your full self, in the full lovingness of who you are. Even embracing when it feels sad, even when it embracing when it feels lonely. And because, like I said, that feeling of, you know, I am so capable of doing so much and loving on so much, you know, on so many people, and doing so much within this life, despite the cards that I was dealt. And I'm so grateful for that, because not everybody is given the opportunity to do that. I am so grateful for that, like, I'm gonna do a video showing the final touches of everything in here. And it's you know, it's not a big deal, but it is something I'm proud of. And I love having these moments of, like, feeling like, oh, you couldn't do it, but yes, you could. And it's something simple, right? But, you know, it's just a lot of work. But I love having those moments where you may think, or you might doubt yourself, and you're like, you know what, just do it anyway. And you see the fruits of it afterwards, and you're like, that wasn't so bad. And I keep having those. And I live it, and that's why I'm transparent and I'm pushing it, is because I live it. Is I love having those moments where I just push through something and I see the other end of it, and I'm like, I'm a bad bitch. I'm still a bad bitch. I almost lost it, but you're still. So that's all I want for other people that I love and care about, is for them to find that. I don't care if you're male, female, they, them, whoever. I want you to still have that bad bitch energy of, I can do whatever the hell I want to do, because I just know I can. And I'm going to push through no matter how difficult it is. And I'm going to do it anyway, because I can. So I already felt good about it. I actually had recorded a video a couple days ago that was supposed to be the video, and it didn't feel authentic. It was completely just, I was not in the headspace, and I wasn't in the right mind space, whatever. And this feels more authentic, and this feels more like, and I'm bushy, I'm ugly, I'm ashy. I came from the gym. I've been painting for 5 hours and moving furniture, and I look busted. But this feels authentic, and this feels like, again, a breath of fresh air. And I'm so excited about, again, continuing this journey with my 100 subscribers, that I feel like, okay, that was my reward to me. And like, I hope this new energy, this new vibe, because I'm recording in this space is going to be new energy, a gift for you that you enjoy. I'm just excited for the journey, and I'm excited for you guys to be on it with me. And so, like I said, so much is coming. I do my sound bowl sessions. I do my sound healing. I do my meditations. I am a Reiki healer. I do I'm also getting my yoga certification. So that's why you see me really big into fitness and health as well, and getting my mind right. And I'm also getting my breathwork certification. So bringing that all together, I'm bringing that into this space, and I'm bringing that to my community. So again, that I can offer more to the community for free on this platform, just to say that I love you and I care, and that I hope that you find it useful. That's it. That's all. I don't plan to gain anything other than, your respect. And if I don't have that, I'll still live. Because radical acceptance. But yeah, thank you for watching and being part of the journey. And like, share, subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Threads, TikTok, everything, Patreon. And again, click the link below. Tell me how you like the new vibe. Bye, Healing Fam.